missed it. It's a lot going on this morning, so we're going to start even as they are still blessing graduates and eating donuts and such out there. This is, as Pastor Mark mentioned, if you were here, this is our final huddles and our final Sunday school for the season. We will take the couple months of summer off and kind of gear up for a big relaunch in the fall like we do. Still have to come to church. You're not off the hook there. And this is a pre-announcement, if you will, but we are planning to do our single worship service in the month of July. Again, we did that last summer, and that worked out really well. So you can kind of make your plans. That's in July. I think there are 5 Sundays in July this year. We will have a single 10 o'clock service. So just kind of mentally start preparing. We will tell you that over and over again, I'm sure, till we get there. So we've been working in a series called Mission in Motion, and a look at God's calling for the mission field, which, as our verse says, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into his harvest field. Now, Luke also has the same verse, basically, and they call it the Luke equivalent. He told them, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into the harvest field. Now, I don't put that up there because Luke says it any differently. I think it's verbatim. Exact same. But I do want you to note the verse. Okay? Luke 10:2. Note that. We're going to go quick. So this is actually going to be your opening question in the huddle when you get to your group. Have you ever had a task or a job or a problem that needed solving that you forgot about? Wives, this would be the time to, poke your husband. Maybe, probably all. Now, there are also times where you have jobs that you don't forget about, right? And you get them done. What's the difference between the two? Why did something get done and something not get done? Is it the nag, or the gentle reminder of a loving wife? Maybe. Maybe it was something that you had to step over every time you came to your house, and I need to fix that step, but you saw it every day, so you finally got to it. So what we want to, the point of that is part of the video, is this idea of what some problems get solved and some don't. I mean, we fix stuff the list of things we could do at our house is probably endless. So what causes something to rise to the top? That's the thing we work on. All right, so as we think about world missions and we think about the harvest, what problems are going to get solved? What's going to rise to the top of our consciousness, the things that we want to be the most aware of? So everyone has a part in God's story, and I think the key in this Bible study that's been about world missions and missionaries and stuff is that we all have parts but they're not all the same part. Okay, the commitment might be different. The amount of time or energy or resources put in for your part might be different. The jobs might be different. The callings vary. The expectations nuanced. But everyone has a part. And then I went down a rabbit hole of research. You ever do that? Where you just you're thinking of something and then you start Googling this, that, and the other thing. And then you learn a whole bunch of stuff and you're like, oh, I didn't know that. So I did that this week with money in the church, because I was just wondering, what could the church do, like the United States church, the Christian church in America? What could we do if we kind of lived God's plan of the tithe as a church? You ever thought about that? What could be accomplished by St. Paul? What could be accomplished by all the churches in Peachtree City if we had God's level of resources, right? What could the world look like? Because in the United States, The Christian churches receive $74.5 billion per year. But the Christians in the United States earn $5.2 trillion, which means our budget should be $520 billion, which is also 7 times the impact. Think of what the impact the Christian church has in America, and it's significant. Hospitals and schools and care for marginalized groups, needy people, all the stuff that churches can do. And we're working on 1/7 of what the potential should be. All right, so back to the verse. This is where we're going to end because we got to get to the video. Luke 10:2. There's a movement out there. It's called the 10:02 prayer. The 10:02 prayer. So if you've ever been with Pastor Mark at 10:02 in the morning, his phone will beep at him. It's an alarm that he has set in his phone at 10:02 every day. And at 10:02 every day, Mark prays the passage from Luke 10, verse 2. Ask the Lord of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest field. So very simply, if we all have a part to play, I don't know how many of you have been nudged by the Holy Spirit to consider world missions as your next chapter in life. I'm guessing not many, maybe none in this room. But we all have a part to play, and the simplest part we can play is this part, to pray for the Lord of the harvest to raise up workers. And what better time to do it than 10:02? We got 16 minutes. All right, so that's our lesson. We're going to watch our final video, and then you'll have your huddle time. So go ahead and put the video on.